In today's video, we are going to be reading Creepy Ms. That Changed Everything. This one is called The Creepy DM That Changed Everything, and it goes. I have a confession to make. 3 years ago, I received a random direct message from someone I didn't know. It was just a simple message that said, "Are you alone right now?" I thought it was pretty weird, but I decided to respond just out of curiosity. I asked who this person was and why they were messaging me, and they responded by saying they were sorry, but they needed to tell me something really important. For the next hour or so, we went back and forth exchanging messages, and I could unhelp but feel like there was something off about them. Their responses were very vague, and they never gave me a straight answer to any of my questions. They kept telling me that they knew something about me that I had never told anyone before. And at first I thought maybe it was just some random creepy guy trying to mess with me. But the more I thought about it, the more I could unshake this feeling that there was more to this than just some sick, twisted game. Finally, I got fed up and I told them if they did untell me who they were and what they wanted, I was going to block them. To my surprise, their next message was the one that changed everything. They sent me a picture of a key. I knew exactly what it meant, and I immediately felt a chill down my spine. Because I knew in my gut that whatever they were about to tell me was gonna be life-changing. A little backstory. When I was 17 years old, my boyfriend and I made a promise to each other that we would never break each other's hearts. We engraved our initials on a tree by our house and carved the date into the bark. We promised to always stay together no matter what happened, and that we would never betray each other. Well, fast forward 3 years and my ex broke his promise, cheated on me, and left me devastated. I tried to move on, but I couldn't help but think he would regret his decision and eventually come back to me. Little did I know that he was going through the same thing. When he saw the picture of the key, his heart sank. He recognized it instantly because it was the exact same key that he had hidden in the tree all those years ago. He knew that whatever this mysterious person was trying to tell me would destroy him, but he couldn't bring himself to stop it. You see, when he and I broke up, he made a promise to himself that he would never let me go. He engraved the key to the tree in the bark of the tree with his initials and the date. He promised himself that he would never let me go, and that he would always be there for me no matter what. When he saw that the person who was messaging me had the key, he knew that I was in danger. He didn't know what this person wanted from me, but he knew that they must have been watching me for a long time. With shaking hands, he tried to reach out to me, but it was too late. The person had already told me everything. The message that they sent me was, "Don't trust anyone, not even the ones you love." I didn't know what they meant at first, but then it hit me. My ex had been cheating on me with someone. It betrayed me in the worst way possible, and I had been so blinded by love that I hadn't seen the signs. I should have known something was up when he was always on his phone, or when he would leave the room whenever I tried to talk to him about his day. But I had ignored all of those red flags because I didn't want to believe that he was capable of cheating. I confronted him about it, but he denied it, swore that he was innocent and that I was making things up. But I knew deep down that he was lying. When I realized that the person who had been messaging me must have known the truth all along. They had been watching me, waiting for me to wake up and realize what a monster my ex really was. But there was more. The person continued to send me messages, telling me things that my ex had done that I would have never guessed. Things that made me wonder, how could he do this to me? They told me about the times he had stayed out late with his friends and not come home, about the missed calls and the hidden texts, about the lies and the deceit. It was too much for me to handle. I felt like I was being suffocated by the weight of the betrayal. I had never felt so much pain in my entire life. I blocked my ex on all social media platforms and deleted all of his contact information from my phone. I didn't want to hear his voice or see his face ever again. As the days went by, I started to heal. I began to pick up the pieces of my broken heart and put myself back together. I focused on my studies and spent more time with my family and friends. I tried to keep myself busy and distracted from the pain. One day, while I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, I came across a post that made me stop in my tracks. It was a picture of my ex and his new girlfriend. They were smiling and laughing, seemingly happy and in love. It made me feel sick to my stomach. How could he move on so quickly? How could he find happiness after what he had done to me? But then I remembered the messages. The person who had sent them had told me that I would find happiness again. I would move on and be better off without him. First, I didn't believe it. How could I ever be happy again after what he had done? But as time passed, I started to feel better. The pain didn't go away overnight, but it lessened. I still had bad days, but they were fewer and farther between. Then one day I saw a post that made me stop in my tracks. It was a picture of my ex and his new girlfriend. They were smiling and laughing, seemingly happy and in love. It made me feel sick to my stomach. How could he move on so quickly? How could he find happiness after what he had done to me? But then I remembered the messages. The person who had sent them had told me that I would find happiness again, that I would move on and be better off without him. At first, I didn't believe it. How could I ever be happy again after what he had done? But as time passed, I started to feel better. The pain didn't go away overnight, but it lessened. I still had bad days, but they were fewer and farther between. One day I decided to take a leap of faith, and I started talking to someone new. At first, it was just casual, nothing serious. But as the weeks went by, I started to develop feelings for him. He was kind, funny, and understood me like no one else. He was patient with me and never pressured me to do anything I wasn't comfortable with. I knew that I was in good hands. As my relationship with this new person grew, I found myself opening up more and more. I told him about my past, about the pain and the heartbreak, and he listened without judgment. He embraced me and told me that I was beautiful inside and out. He made me believe in love again. One day he asked me to meet him at the tree where I had carved my initials and the date. I was nervous, but I agreed to meet him there. When I arrived, he had a picnic basket with him, and we spent the day eating lunch, talking and laughing. As the sun began to set, he got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. Couldn't say yes fast enough. As I look back on everything that has happened, I can't help but feel grateful. Grateful for the pain because it made me stronger. Grateful for the heartbreak because it led me to my true love. Most of all, grateful for the creepy DM that changed everything. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. Until next time.